if you go out of the country, they don't care if you're Nigerian-American, Latin-American, white American, Native American. They're gonna be like, you're American. Why? Because you have a blue passport, and that's what they see. And let me tell you something. Because whenever people tell me they went to boarding school, and they're like, yeah, in boarding school, like they used to beat us. Who was beating you? Because if my teacher put their hands on me in America, it would be a problem. The teacher would go to jail, get fired. Because when I go to Nigeria, they're not gonna call me Nigerian.
They will. They'll call you Tokumbo now. That's what they call them, Tokumbo. Alright. My name is Oyebanji Akins, and we're live on CTDAMEDIA. And on this particular episode, I'm sure I'm not doing it alone. For anybody that have been following us more than a year, I'm sure you've seen this face. And it's not a new face, but we're about to have a wonderful conversation. And with me today is Katie. How you doing?
Hi. Okay, my name is Khadijah. You can call me KD.
Okay, nah.
This is my second or third time here, and I love it.
No, this is your first time here now.
Okay, at this look.
But with the brand, this is gonna be the third
time. It's not my first time. Yeah, it's my third time.
You've been with us. So on this, it's like continuity of where we start from. The Nigerian community thing we want to go into a little bit. Now, I'm a little bit upgraded, and this is gonna be funny as hell. A lot of Nigerians don't know this, which go back to this. I'm a victim of that myself, so I want to know more about when it comes to when people say, who are people regard as Nigerian-American?
I don't even know why you call yourself a victim.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not a victim. Let's be real here. You're not a victim.
Oh, no, don't play me like that because I'm a victim now.
Okay, but Nigerian-American would be me, someone who is of direct Nigerian descent, but born here in the States. That is a Nigerian-American.
So for example, if somebody like me that become, a citizen, what am I going to call myself when I'm outside the country?
You are a Nigerian who has American citizenship.
So wait, for example, let's say I'm in Nigeria right now. A lot of people go back home and you go and hear like, yeah, I'm an American citizen now.
That's it. That's all you're saying. You're not saying I'm an American. You're saying I'm an American citizen.
So what's the difference between saying an American citizen? Is there a difference?
Yeah, American is someone who was born in America, and an American citizen specifically
is an immigrant.
Is someone who obtained citizenship.
But I just feel like at the end of the day, we're still on the same under umbrella, though. The same rights, the same.
Yeah, you have the same rights. I'm not taking that away from you.
But don't make it about me. I'm just saying.
You
just make it about me. That.
No, but I'm not saying that you don't have the same rights. I'm just saying that there is a differentiation between the two of them. Same way if I tell someone who was born in Nigeria, they come here and I'm like, oh hey, I'm Nigerian. They're just like, no, you're American. And then I'm like, no, I'm Nigerian. They're just like, no, you weren't born in Nigeria, so you're not Nigerian per se.
So apparently in the community, when people say Nigerian-American, that's people born in America.
Mm-hmm. With direct Nigerian descent. Like, your parents.
What do you mean by direct Nigerian descent?
Like, your parents are Nigerian. Like, your parents were born and raised in Nigeria.
So let's say like you're child of an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what it means. But for example, if somebody like me, I'm still asking you now, if somebody want to regard himself outside the country, what do you think they're going to say? I'm a Nigerian-American.
No, you wouldn't. Would you tell somebody that you're Nigerian-American?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
But
that doesn't make sense. Where were you born?
Wait.
No. Where were you born?
Relax.
No, I am relaxed. Where were you born?
So wait, before we get into that, I will answer your question. I'm born in Nigeria.
Exactly.
So my question is this. When I'm outside the country and somebody asks me, when I show them my blue passport,
you say you're American. You don't say I'm Nigerian-American. You say I'm American.
Why would I tell them I'm Nigerian? Why would I take the fact that I'm Nigerian out? Because I'm a Nigerian, actually.
Exactly. You see what I mean? You're Nigerian, right? That is your...
But then, I'm just saying, like, to make it make sense, then I would just say I'm a Nigerian-American.
But you're not a Nigerian-American.
What do you mean? What do you mean? See?
You are a Nigerian with American citizenship, and that's just what you are. While I am a true Nigerian. In fact, if you want to be called a Nigerian-American, go ahead, be called a Nigerian-American. If that makes you happy, go ahead. Nah,
you don't gotta join. You don't gotta join to us like that. We work for this thing, dude.
Yeah, you work to be an American citizen. Exactly. But I didn't work to be an American citizen. It was given to me.
That's cool. That's different.
I'm just saying it's the truth. You had to work for your citizenship. I didn't. Therefore, that's why I say I'm a Nigerian-American.
But then I think it's just in America we regard it. While we're inside American, you're gonna be called Nigerian-American. I think the line should be used when we're inside America.
No, absolutely. I feel like if you go out of the country, and
it's just gonna be Nigerian-American.
No, I feel like.
What do you mean?
if you go out of the country, they don't care if you're Nigerian-American, Latin-American, white American, Native American. They're like, you're American. Why? Because you have a blue passport, and that's what they see. Anyone who has a blue passport, you're considered an American citizen.
Yeah, true.
Because you have, that's just what that is. In that aspect. Now, within the state lines and the confines of the good old US of A, we like classify and we differentiate more. Like if someone's just like, oh, I'm Guatemalan, you know, I mean, you're Latin American or whatever, or you're like, I'm Guatemalan American because my parents are Guatemalan born and raised, moved to America, but they had me here in the States, so therefore, that's my lineage, that's my designation. That's just what it is.
But anyway, I kind of feel like it's just a way of trying to segregate us, but I don't see no difference.
It's not I don't think it's segregating because at the end of the day, right? Like we all have to.
Because you're trying to hold on to the fact of saying I'm not Nigerian-American.
Because you're not.
You see?
But it's not about segregation though. You are making it that way. It's not about segregation. Everybody.
I just want to hear your own voice though. It's not
everybody has a class, right? We all have our.
But you just make me realize the class I belong. You said I'm not Nigerian-American.
You're not, but it's okay.
I'm Nigerian. I'm an American. What do you mean?
You're a Nigerian with American citizenship.
So when I'm outside American, what people gonna call me then?
They're probably gonna be like, you African, because look how you sound.
What you mean it goes like I'm African?
You're African. Do you hear how you sound?
Man, I'm gonna tell them.
You sound like African. You sound Nigerian. You have an accent. They don't think you Nigerian. They're gonna think you're African before they think you're American.
Man, everybody knows outside America, any black is Nigerian-American. Man.
No, they don't. They do not think that everybody outside of America is American.
Once I talk, they're gonna know like I'm from Africa.
Exactly. They're not gonna think you're American. They're gonna be like, oh, you. Once they realize, once you start talking, they're gonna be like, oh, you're not truly American. They're gonna be like, oh, you must be from some African country. And then.
So how do you guys feel when you see people like the Tokumbos now?
Who's the Tokumbos?
Tokumbos are the one, you know, Nigerian. How do you guys feel when you see people like us though?
Who's you guys? Is you guys Nigerian Americans?
Yeah, Nigerian Americans. How do you guys see us?
Who's us?
We that come all the way from Nigeria to America.
Feel about what?
You know, being down here, how we get things done, how for like Nigerians, and you are here though. Like, what kind of conversation you feel? Because now you say we're not Nigerian Americans actually.
Because you're not. You're a Nigerian with American citizenship. I'm a Nigerian American. I feel no type of way about you though.
Huh? You know what?
I don't feel any type of way.
I never feel anything about me too, because I'm still Nigerian American. So I guess
you want to be Nigerian American so bad, don't you?
Nah, nah. So that's the part people get. I think a lot of people get that part wrong in America. Actually,
what part?
The conversation about people saying like, "Oh, you want to become American? No, you sound like an American." I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. You just said I want to become American so bad.
I said you want to be Nigerian-American so bad. Is what
because
I said.
That's who I am. I gotta be my Nigerian. I have to be my Nigerian.
You have to be your Nigerian.
Yes.
Why can't you just be Nigerian and then?
Then what? An American. It. I'm living here. I have every right to call myself an American, so I'm a Nigerian American.
Did I say you couldn't be an American?
But that's what is going to be the line, though.
I never said you couldn't call yourself an American. I said you are definitely an American citizen.
How y'all feel about that, though?
I don't care. Whatever you are has nothing to do with me and how I live. That doesn't bother me. Like.
You think so?
Why would it bother me?
You just said right now that I can't call myself Nigerian American.
I say you shouldn't call yourself.
That bother you?
You can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself.
But you just tell me how to call myself. I can't be Nigerian American.
In my personal opinion, you cannot be
what?
A Nigerian American.
So that means you're being bothered about it.
I'm not bothered about it.
But why would you say I can't be Nigerian American?
I have an opinion on it. That is all it is.
Tell me why you have that kind of opinion.
Because logically speaking, when it comes to being considered a Nigerian American, I told you the definition of what it was earlier.
Help people that are watching us so that they can understand.
Okay, so as a Nigerian American, it's someone who has direct lineage to the country, Nigeria, but was American born, such as me. So like I'm literally first generation American born. Okay? In terms of being Nigerian. Right? You, on the other hand, were Nigerian born. You are not first generation American born at all. You are Nigerian. You're Nigerian from the way you were born, from where you were raised. But the moment I swore I said I'm an American, I have all the right. You have all the rights of an American, absolutely.
Yeah, so I become an American though. Yeah. Then I become Nigerian.
No, it makes you a Nigerian who was able to qualify for American citizenship. Man,
I'm about to bring some more people to come and drag this because I feel like
you can but I'm not wrong though.
I never said you were wrong, but I feel like y'all don't want us to call that name.
You can be. Why can't you just say I'm Nigerian and I have American citizenship? Because that's it.
That's a long speech.
Just be like, well, then just say I'm Nigerian because you are.
But that's what I said. I'm a Nigerian and I have an American citizen, so I'm a Nigerian-American.
Okay.
See?
I'll let you win because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose here.
This is not about a lose, okay. Man. It's just about.
So let me ask you this: why do you want to be considered a Nigerian-American?
Because I work for it.
Because you worked for it. You worked for your American citizenship?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like there is a clout or something to being considered Nigerian-American? Like, what does it do for you to be able to say, yes, I'm Nigerian-American?
Okay, I would say this for people. It's a lot mentally.
Okay.
I think it comes with people that might have experienced it. For somebody like you, the experience you have is right from mine, being a Nigerian here, because you are born here. Mm-hmm. Now, for somebody like me that come all the way from Nigeria to become an American citizen, it's a way different ballgame. So I think for me now, there's a feeling that comes with it. Some people use it differently. It just make you more, should I use the word audacious to do things with more confidence in yourself? And it makes you more to be, a lot of people can have their words because they feel like they don't have the right yet. So it limits things they do. It limits how they believe in themselves. It limits how they look at themselves. I'm a victim of that too. And I think the moment that I swear to become an American citizen, not some people will not see it from that way because of who they are. But for me, it just gave me some kind of confidence in terms of how I see myself in the country. Because it's a lot as a Nigerian that has to go through all the stress to become a citizen or just to have a green card in America.
Okay. So are you saying that being able to consider yourself or call yourself a Nigerian-American mm-hmm. provides you with an added layer of confidence? It kind of seals the deal in terms of like you having worked so hard to obtain what you currently have?
For me, I wouldn't say it in that ideology because of where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people who never want to become American citizens, they're on green card, they have their own ideology too. But for me, I see becoming a citizen not because of the stress, but I see myself being a part for other people. Like I always tell people, like, I think it was you that we had this conversation before. Like, it's like being in America to create another story for somebody to read or write or believe to have their own story. That's just how I see myself. So I see it now like, okay, I can business wise, I can go around the world to do my business. That's one. I think that's one thing that really, really helped being an American for me as a Nigerian. Because coming from Nigeria where you want to get a visa to every part of the world, that's stress. But now, you can just, it makes your plan more. That's what I mean by saying the confidence part. Mm-hmm. Like, I just pick up my passport and say I'm going to China, I'm going to this. Without feel like I'm being under pressure of saying somebody's going to pick me. I think that part, it helps solidify your moves mm-hmm. in America for me. So that's what I will basically talk about when it comes to the confidence. Yeah. And when I went to Nigeria too, yeah, there's a kind of way Nigerian immigration will look at you too when you come with that. When you are a Nigerian, that they know that you're born in Nigeria, that have American passport. There's a way they treat you in the airport.
They treat you better or worse?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, better or worse?
The conversation is more like the conversation is always like, oh, you made it. So just, give us something to motivate us. So I never thought about it.
So bribing you.
No. So I won't say it's bribe. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to call it bribe. I'm not going to lie. It's just where they make you feel some kind of like you're better than them.
Oh, okay.
You can tell like they make you feel like, oh, yeah, bless us in the sense like we can tell you made it kind of a thing.
So what's the blessing?
For me, I didn't like it though. It's not like I give one person money, I did not give the other people. I told them I don't have money.
And then what happened?
They didn't do nothing. They all respected it. Back in the days, I would say the old time, yes. But now, mm-hmm. man, it's like they respect American passport than Nigerian passport back home.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a way to make you feel like you're important than Nigerians.
Oh, because you have that blue passport?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe the mentality, I don't know. But yeah, it was like that. Even at whatever I want to call it, in a plane. Yeah, there's a way once you show them the blue passport, mm-hmm. and they can tell from your outside like you're Nigerian, like you. Yeah, from here, like
yeah, for sure.
This one now from here, you.
Because when I pop up on the scene, I sound American. They
will already be telling you right there, like you're not from here, like right.
Exactly. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what? And this is why I'm Nigerian-American. Because when I go to Nigeria, they're not gonna call me Nigerian.
They will. They will call you Tokumbo now. That's what they call them, Tokumbo.
What does that mean?
Tokumbo mean like people that was being born outside the country that was being brought back home.
Okay, but see, exactly that's why I'm considered Nigerian-American.
But that's what I mean. Like when you're in Nigeria, yes.
Yeah.
If I'm here too, I have the same.
In Nigeria,
right.
would they call you Nigerian-American?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Like, you know, Nigeria, we have this stigma of making people like they're more than what they are, even though they are not. They will
Because I'm
remind you.
trying to figure out why they would call you Nigerian.
They just want to hype you up to take your money at the end of the day. If you fall for that shit, it's your money going. But Nigeria will make you, just tell them you have a blue passport. They're about to hype you more than what you think it is. I think it makes people more comfortable to feel like I think back home they kind of put some kind of achievement to it.
You think so? I mean, no, I will say though, it's definitely a feat, right? To say like, oh, I was able to leave Nigeria, go somewhere out of the country, survive on my own, because some of y'all really just do it by yourselves. You leave like when you're like 20 something, you come to America, you maybe go to school or whatever the case may be. You come to America and you build your roots, your foundation, and you find a way to hustle, make it, and then you get your citizenship. And some people, they get it within a couple of years. Some people 10 years, 20, some people 20, you know, like it is something to come back and say like, I've succeeded, I made it, because you've done something that not everybody is afforded the ability to do so. So definitely like be happy and be proud of yourself that you've gotten to that point, because again, everybody's not able. There are people still in this country who are still, they've been working, and like they still don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something to be grateful for. Be proud.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of different in that when it comes to that part. I think for me, if I'm to look at it, I just want to, every time I talk about when it comes to being American citizen, it's just to create something for other people to believe like it's possible. I think I'm always big on that, because I'm this person, like, what is the point of being American citizen when you can't influence somebody else to believe in themselves to feel like they can do it too? Mm-hmm. So for me, that's just my own. I think every time I talk about it, maybe I intentionally brag about it. It's just to, even though people always get it wrong, it's just to motivate the people like you could do it too. Like, fuck you, don't let anybody get to you like you can't do it.
No, absolutely.
I think that's for me. Anytime I talk about it, it's like, okay, who's this guy? Then if you Google me or you find out you realize that this nigga is nobody. Then the question comes for me like, okay, how does he manage to do this? If this guy is nobody and he can do this, then the idea coming to you is stuff like, if you could do it. Because I think the last time I was telling, like, if Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, yeah, it was you. Yeah, that's funny. 2 years ago when I was saying, like, it's Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, I say all these things, like, well, how come you can't do it? And, you know,
anything is possible.
Look at us today now, like,
you know, from your living room to a studio. Like, look, hey, big things.
That's the word, man. I never even see it that way. So I think that's for me, having those privilege. It's just a privilege. Yeah. And I always want to tell people, like, man, create another path for the next people. You know, me and you 2 years ago, we had the similar conversation, and look at where we are today 2 years later. So that's growth in terms of having that for anybody that even watching us realize that just believe in your dreams, man. Like, believe in that thing. Go. And if it's Nigeria, like you said, or American, both ways.
I will say I'm very Nigerian. Do you not see the fact that I'm literally wearing my country around my neck?
You are Khadija now. This is Khadija. You know, when we say Katie, this is Khadija. All the way from Houston, Texas, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I have another thing I just want to add to it to you. What is it with Nigerians from home finding it hard to blend with Nigerians in America?
Just because of customs, like how you're born and raised. Like, we're born in Western world. And so when we're born within a Nigerian household, but living in Western society, you walk out your door and it could be like a complete difference between what your household rules and regulations are and how you're raised in a home compared to like how you're supposed to act outside, right? Because when I walk outside the door, when people look at me, they don't see like an African, you know, they don't see a Nigerian, they see a black girl, you know? And so they see a black girl first, and then they hear my name, and then, you know, things like that. And they're like, oh, you're not just regular black. You're like African black. Oh, what kind of black? I'm Nigerian, you know? So there's like levels to that. And so I think that sometimes when you're born here, you're grown, you're raised a certain way, you know, with your values and your culture on both like the Western side as well as Nigerian, but it's not necessarily the same. Like when you're born in Nigeria, then you come here. Like things that you may have grown up doing in Nigeria, we didn't grow up doing here. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear all the time, like, oh yeah, I went to boarding school and they was in boarding school, they was whooping our ass. I could never say that I was in grade school and my teacher whooped my ass because they would have gone to jail. It would have been a problem. You know what I'm saying? So
how does those things look when you have this conversation with people like us? Like,
man, let me tell you something. Because whenever people tell me they went to boarding school and they're like, yeah, in boarding school, like they used to beat us. Who was beating you? Because if my teacher put their hands on me in America, it would be a problem. The teacher would go to jail, get fired, and they're talking about like, oh, like I was in JS1, JSS2, or whatever, and the class girl, the senior girl, whatever, senior boy, whatever, you know how y'all call it. They used to pick on me and bully me, and I was like, what?
You even try to know JS1, JS2. That's the most common one we always say, though.
I know, isn't it? But like the thing is, it's like in America, it's not the same. Like, which means they was bullying, like. And they was like, you had to go fetch their water or give them lunch or whatever the case may be. It's so different, you know.
But what about the home side? How do you see people from us being raised back home with our parents with Nigerian-American raised with their parents here? Do you think there's any gap of how we approach you guys? Culture-wise, like home training, stuff like that? Is there any gap? So
I will say that, yes, there are differences, but I think that our parents still try to do a really, really good job in terms of rearing us in the culture, right? They don't want us to forget it. I know that my mom has done everything she possibly can or could do to make sure that I know that I'm Nigerian first before I'm American.
Wow.
In terms of just like cooking, like the language, the culture. Like we're from Bogota, so like I'm really big in like Egba culture.
When are you going to Nigeria?
In December.
This year?
This year.
Okay, now give us a vlog when you go to Nigeria. Let's see what's up. So you're going to Abeokuta, where are you?
Yeah.
Lagos. You're going to Abeokuta for real?
Yeah, for real. I am, because even like we were told, the Kabesi was like, yeah, we could come and to the
palace?
To the palace and visit, whatever. Like, and okay. I met him
show
before.
Make sure show us vlog.
I will vlog it, and I'll even show you and like come back and give you like a nice little story.
That would be nice to come and have. That's good. So we already have somebody, you know, an American going to Nigeria. We're going to get all the information. So let's see your own experience going to Nigeria.
I can't wait.
But, you know, it's been wonderful having Katie. You're going to be seeing her more now that she's back. I'm going to be dragging her to come more. You know, it's been wonderful talking about me. I always call myself American, Nigerian-American. But, you know, these are the real Nigerian-American, like they say. So we're just going to give it to them. We're being called Nigerian immigrants.
Because you are.
So, yes, I'm a Nigerian immigrant, actually. So, if you really want to regard yourself, you can still use the word Nigerian-American, don't you? It doesn't really matter. But when you're in this country, just call yourself an immigrant. It doesn't change nothing. Let them have it like they want to have it, you know. But it's nice having you. You can follow us on our website and our social media. It's called CTDAMEDIA. And what we do, we connect the dots all around Africa. So, Katie, what would you like to give us before we go out today?
Well, thank you for having me. It is great to be back after being gone for so long.
Yes,
it's always a pleasure being here with you.
Okay, man.
And I can't wait for the next time.
All right, now, so the next time, she'll be the one telling us about this Nigerian. This is America, you know, we can't say. But don't leave the doubt. Follow us, share until the next episode. Thank you.